Welcome to humanity. This is our one.
Whatever it takes, we got to say whatever it takes is what it took.
This is Brock Lesnar, and you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Yo, hi, this is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to listen to Fight Net Radio.
Lee Harvey Oswald, what's your name? I know how am I supposed to know you?
This is Frank Shamrock. You're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Hi, this is Nia, the Knockout St. John. You're listening to Fight Net Radio, and there's no way I would ever touch Lee.
This is Chuck Jackson.
I am Stephen Bonner, and you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Dan Henderson, you're listening to Fight Net Radio.
Everybody, welcome to Fight Net Radio, where Lee's burning every bridge there is out there. All right.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao. I'll fight anybody on FightNetRadio.com.
Hey, I'm the king of the world! Hold it, you're not that crazy. I'm a bad man! Wait, I took up the world!
Hi, everybody, welcome to Fight Net Radio. You didn't lose me. Hi, welcome everybody back to Fight Net Radio. Part 2 of our big news week. Really not a big news week, just a bunch of stupid shit going on in boxing.
I'm tired of the stupid, Lee. There's way too much stupid on the internet now.
Well, no, let's start off with stupid before we get into our featured news story. Because it was announced this past week, Andrew. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's official. Conor McGregor is not fighting Floyd Mayweather. Can you believe that there were actually multiple news stories written by Kevin Iole, by Dan Rayfield, by big hitters? Big hitters wrote this actual story. The fight's officially not happening. Did anybody really believe that the fight was ever happening?
Yeah, I kind of thought that story had died when Dana White came out and said Floyd.
Shocked when you actually saw people write the story?
No, at first, no, you can't say that I was, because I thought there was an avenue for that fight if Conor McGregor was really gonna stay retired. You got to remember.
If Conor McGregor lost, I could see that fight happening.
He did lose right before he had retired. Remember that.
Right, so, but he came back.
And then he came back, yes. And once he came back to the sport, once Dana White started saying, well, if Floyd wants to fight him, he's going to have the UFC somehow involved, this story should have went away, people. It should have went away. The fact that you brought it back this week to confirm that it wasn't happening, yeah, that's pretty stupid.
It was pretty crazy. I was literally shocked that it had the life that it had.
Common
what
sense
I find
is
crazy,
not too common.
Well,
nowadays.
you want some inside dirt that I know from my side of the world, because I know I don't cover MMA a whole lot on this show. I only put up amusing sound clips that I like. There's a rumor going around that Diaz held back in that fight, so there's a third fight.
Yes, of course, Lee. He didn't take him down. He didn't. A lot of people, he didn't apply the thing that gave him the advantage in the first fight. He tried to stand up with them. I can see where a lot of people are going to run with that. There was also a rumor like that 5 people walked into a casino and bet $1,000 or $5,000 on Conor McGregor, and they wanted to look into those what was going on there too, because they thought maybe something they had Nate Diaz was tied into that somehow. Maybe he threw the fight, and those were his 5 buddies putting his own $5,000 on Conor McGregor.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past the Diaz brothers to do something that insane, because they're insane.
Hey,
I don't stop.
That's a movie.
Look, when I'm driving up to Sacramento, or it's funny because I went to a concert in Sacramento last week. I drove through Stockton, and I was pointing out to my way too hot girlfriend. I said, "This is Stockton." She goes, "It looks awful." I said, "Well, it's home to the Diaz brothers, and that fact alone means you should never stop your car in this town." She goes, "You're joking." I said, "No, I'm not joking."
Yeah, Stockton's pretty rough.
It used to be a really good little farming town. It ain't that way.
No, it's really rough. And you know what's sadly is like you said, there's a lot of old style farmhouses in those communities. Beautiful homes.
All the signs are in Spanish off the freeway even.
Yeah. No, Stockton is taking a fall.
The migrant workers have all been trapped there.
Yeah.
It's like they can't find their way back to LA to go get,
Well, what are you on today? Did you come in drinking or something? You starting to start trouble, Lee?
I'm not starting trouble, man. I'm just telling you, I know that migrant farm workers who are quote-unquote illegal aliens, sorry, Donald Trump, are the backbone of California.
I just told you the housing there is pretty nice, though. You know, you get into one of those houses in Stockton. Yes, they moved you out of a big city. Yes, you have to move to the middle of nowhere now, but the house in Stockton is way better than what they were giving in the ghettos of Oakland or San Francisco or Richmond or Vallejo.
Oh no, East LA or Boyle Heights. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's some
there's
beautiful
some real
communities in there. They're just being burnt down right now.
Yeah. So if you're joining us,
I got a story. I got a story about Stockton.
Yeah. Go for a lead up.
Okay. I was looking for a housing, right?
Yeah.
It's only fit one market, right, Lee? Got to go where my money is.
That's correct. That is the secret to housing.
They take me to Stockton.
Your dollar will buy.
My uncle takes me to Stockton, says I'm in over my head on a house. I just want to give it to you. Take over payments. I said, all right, I'll check it out. And we drive down to Stockton.
Willing to drive from Stockton for work back to Oakland?
Just hear me out. I told you
all
I
right.
love their housing over there. I told you,
all
you know.
right.
I get down there, and the first thing I notice, Lee, obviously the homeless, the boarded up businesses, it's not looking good as I'm driving to the neighborhood, first off. No. But when I get into the neighborhood, in my house is in the middle, or what was to be my house is in the middle of two liquor stores. And one liquor store, Lee, it said, rest in peace, Tay-Tay. And the other liquor store said, rest in peace, Loco or Speedy. I don't know, pick one. And I told my uncle, I said, you know what? Tay-Tay and Speedy, they weren't kicking it together. No. Those aren't two names that hang out together, bro. Where are you putting me at? I don't want to be in no racial war. I don't want none of this gang. I didn't buy it just because of that. Two liquor stores, two different names from two different areas. I'm not doing it.
Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay, yeah, that was one of them. I ain't lying.
Is there any other pressing stories before we get to the Canelo Triple G madness?
No, not that I see. I think we hit the big ones.
All right. So if you're joining us, this is part 2 of our shows for the week. As you can tell from the title of the show, the circus that is Triple G and Canelo. I tasked Andrew, because we've decided that you guys like 30, 40, 45-minute shows, and you like them kind of coming out all week long. You guys like it. Numbers are up. Seems to indicate that we're doing something right. Of course, sign up on iTunes, on iHeartRadio. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Follow me directly on Twitter at Lee Honish. You get plenty of updates. I repost stories. Believe it or not, I am friends and I'm personally followed by some remarkable people in the wonderful world of boxing, which to me is hilarious that they all want to see what my take is on a story. The funniest being here locally, Liz Habib of Fox Sports, who only follows like 400 people. She does the Fox local show, and she does some of the stuff for Fox football. Liz Habib started to follow me.
Nice.
And I almost felt like writing to her and going, really? Is it that funny? I'm definitely dropping your real estate value. And I do follow a lot of comedians as well. So if you want just follow me on Twitter. You'll like the feed. My feed's pretty good. With that said, welcome to the infamous, drumroll, Andrew wrote this on Wednesday, September 14th with updates. The Triple G Canelo fight that will never happen, at least certainly within our lifetimes, or until we really don't care about it.
And just to let the fans know, this is the Wednesday.
This is Manny Pacquiao. This is
after.
Go ahead.
This is the Wednesday before Canelo versus Smith takes place. This is right. When this starts.
Okay. Now, I also want to make this clear to everybody listening. My personal belief is, as is Andrew's, that this is Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather.
All over.
A Jace. Yep. It is literally the same thing. 5 years from today, we're going to be talking about this fight every year, every quarter, every half year for 5 years till we reach a point that finally, Oscar says, okay, time to offer him all the money.
Yep.
That's the way this is going to go down. If you guys don't see that, which is why I read the Keith Thurman, I thought the Keith Thurman episode was more important than this story first, because Keith Thurman is full of shit. This Triple G Canelo fight, let's just call it exactly how it is. This fight should be set right now for next September, right? Straight up. Yep. That's how it should be.
It probably should have already happened, but yeah, we'll give them another year, Lee. You know what I mean?
I'll give them that time to build up. In fact, they can fight together on a card in December for all I care, right? Let them fight together.
Just to let you know, though, fans, and I know you guys already know this fight is not getting any bigger than what it is right now. But we'll give them that leeway of, they get another year.
I'll go a step further. I'll go the Chavez. Here's how I would see it. Somewhere right around before the end of the year, the first of the year, you let them both fight tomato cans on HBO, right? Old school Chavez buildup. Let them talk shit after the fight, both of them.
They've done that, Lee. They've done that twice.
They haven't been on the same fight card.
No, but they've been on HBO and talked mess to each other.
HBO, you and I both know that HBO makes this appear like, they don't both are like, it's not real. It's not real to me. Like I think fundamentally both of them know they're not going to fight each other.
Oh, yes, but for different reasons. I think that Triple G knows that Oscar-de-la-Hoya is scared of losing his cash cow. And I think Canelo knows that he's got an easier road if he stays away from the 160 division.
Yeah, I agree. I would even go a step further. I really believe that Canelo believes what his camp tells him and that Triple G's afraid of him. I think he really believes that.
Oh, I hope. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I still think it comes down to economics of risk versus
I don't think,
reward.
honestly, I've heard Canelo's interview. He is a fairly well-spoken guy who seems to be somewhat intelligent for a fighter, and I don't mean that to make it sound like most fighters aren't intelligent. I mean,
no, their interviews suck.
The Andre Wards, the Bernard Hopkins, the Oscar de la Hoyas are very few and far between with that level of intelligence about the world of boxing. Canelo is definitely well-spoken. He's not a beat-up guy who's punch drunk or anything. But I honestly believe, based on direct quotes and the stuff that I've read, I think he really believes that Triple G is the reason the fight's not happening. He buys into the hype. I'm saying.
All right. No, I hear you.
You think I'm crazy for that?
Yes, because I think there's way too much pressure hitting him from outside of his team now. He's even come out and shown disappointment to his own fan base for the way they're talking to him about ducking Triple G. The way he sounds in his post-fight interview, he seemed, obviously I don't speak Spanish and I don't believe half the things those interpreters tell us, because my grandfather always used to tell me they were lying.
Yes, they are.
So I don't believe them anyways. And Canelo's voice, you can see he sounds a little bit frustrated with this whole thing because, Lee, it is very hard to say you're not scared of someone, yet you gave up your title when you were supposed to face that someone. How in the hell can you look in the mirror and say, yeah, man, I ain't scared of that dude? Well, why did you give up your title? Why did you literally walk away from a division? Don't tell me you're not scared. Like, I don't believe it. I think Saul Alvarez is a smart kid, and he knows damn well stay away from 160. He's even already sparred this man. We'll get into that too.
All right. So Andrew wrote these pieces. We'll follow it bit by bit. We'll give you our take because I'm kind of tired of the hype. Like, I know the fight's not happening.
And we have to kill it. Listen, if we don't want this to carry out to a 2-3 year thing, the media and the fans need to come together and apply pressure on HBO and on Golden Boy, which I think is starting. But go ahead, Lee.
So Triple G, let's start. We'll go back and here's the back and forth that started last Wednesday, September 14th. During an interview with Sky Sports, Gennady went off about the Canelo fight. Of course, I want the fight with him. There is talk every time. Everybody asks me when I'm going to fight Canelo. It's not my fault. It's his fault. I'm ready. I said, come on. Of course I want him. Same day, the response came out of the Canelo camp. Chepo Reynoso has no reaction when asked about Triple G's win over Brooks. He said he's worried about the flaws of Liam Smith, not Golovkin. And here's the quote. When the time is right to make a comment about Golovkin, we will. Now is not the right time. We have total respect for Liam Smith and his team. and we won't make any comments on any other fighters but Liam Smith. This is the fight that we have in front of us after September